Today's episode is sponsored by Royal Oak Floors, a brand that has helped shape the vernacular of high-end Australian interiors for more than 20 years. Their European oak floors are thoughtfully crafted to evoke a sensation, warmth, harmony, and the quiet confidence of premium design. We're honoured to partner with a brand that champions craftsmanship, sustainability, and the designers who bring spaces to life. Explore the range at royaloakfloors.com.au. Today I have the pleasure of speaking to Melbourne-based interior designer Ruby Shields, a creative force who is making her mark in the Australian design scene. With a distinctive eye for crafted elements, considered curation, and using colour as a transformative medium, Ruby has built a reputation for transforming interiors into layered environments that balance beauty with functionality. Working across residential and boutique commercial projects, Ruby draws inspiration from Melbourne's vibrant design culture, blending contemporary sensibilities with timeless details. Her approach is collaborative and intuitive. She believes great design starts with understanding how people truly live, move, and connect within a space. In today's conversation, we'll explore Ruby's creative journey to date, her developing design philosophy, and the inspirations that shape her current work in her recently launched Studio Shields. Ruby, welcome to Her Design, Her Story. I'm very excited to have you in studio with me today.
Thank you so much for having me. I am so bloody excited.
Oh, good. I know we've got lots to talk about today. You've had an array of really interesting creative roles in the lead up to your current shift into interior design. And you recently took the leap and opened your own business, which is really exciting. I also do find it really exciting seeing someone who's paving the way for some new voices in design. So I feel like I'm a little bit older than you. It's great to see some new talent coming through the ranks. I did want to go back to the start of your career journey though, because I know you started in a slightly different pathway to interior design. Could you talk me through a little bit around that initial career pathway?
I guess I always have been creative.
Yeah.
So I've always been painting or, writing amateur poetry when I was little, about butterflies and fairies and stuff,
So important. Yeah.
But I've always been quite creative. So my initial thinking was I'll do a fine arts degree.
Yeah.
So I applied for ANU and I got into ceramics, which was
Oh, wow.
awesome. I know. I was like,
Having
yes.
a real moment.
And part of me really wishes I kind of did that instead of take a gap year. And then I also got accepted into RMIT for fine arts.
Oh, wow.
So I put those on the back burner because I was going to have a gap year and work, and I met my husband. God damn.
It's not a happy ending, that story.
I know it is a happy ending. It's not a bad one. Anyway, so I put those on the back burner. I worked for a year and then it was back up for re-application into unis, and I was, oh my God, this is going to sound so terrible, but I was watching Mad Men at the time. Now,
excellent.
Anyone that's,
love
okay.
Mad Men.
So it's the interiors, the
Yes.
fashion. And I just disregarded the whole sexism part of it and was just interiors and fashion, this looks so good. Anyway, so then I applied for RMIT Communication Design in a Bachelor of Advertising. Being a country kid,
Yep.
that world is completely bizarre and out of anything that I had ever thought of. Yep. So it was kind of an accidental fall in to advertising. And I'm not going to lie, it was fine arts or creating pretty advertising and getting paid a shit ton of money. So at such a young age was also led by money. Coming from not
Which
much.
Is fair.
Yeah, it is. I can't disregard that part of it. So fell into advertising, and then when I got in there, there's kids that have born and lived advertising.
Yeah.
And I'm just there and I'm
I'm here for the
I'm here to make pretty
creative
pictures and
Yeah.
some fashion. Like, what are we doing here, guys? And yeah, so then that's how I kind of fell into advertising. But
Yeah.
it's not to disregard that, you know, since I was 15, I wanted to be an interior designer. Like, that was such a huge moment for me. I had Etc. by Sabella Court.
Oh, yes.
And I loved the tactility of that book because she uses trace paper and then she sketches over the
Yeah.
top. And it's just like, it's so, I've still got it at home. It's just such a yummy book to kind of hold and have. And my stepmother was a publisher, and she published that book. So we went to Sabella's book launch in Paddington. And I was there and I met her and I was in her house and I was like, oh my God. And she's a bowerbird.
Dream.
Yeah. She collects all the things and like as a kid, I just collected shit, but it wasn't shit to me. Like
Maybe there's hope for my daughter. She's got a lot of stuff.
Oh, does she? I was just so like feathers and bark and like pretty little rocks that I'd found and like it all just kind of lived in my room. So when I went to Sabella's house, and it's like all of her porcelain feathers and it's all decorated and there's colour and there's textures. I was like, oh my God, this is what I want to be.
Yeah.
But, you know, Australia has such a tall poppy syndrome.
Yeah.
And I was very like, this is what I want to be. And we were at a family gathering thing at one of the shows because we did a damper store, but we're not even going to get fully into that. But anyway, because there's so many problems with that I was like, what? Anyway, and I was there and this lady came up to me because she heard that I wanted to do interior design. She came up to me and I remember sitting down and her being quite intimidating and tall.
Yeah.
And she was like, you don't want to be an interior designer. They make no money. You don't want to do that. So flipping that, I was like, maybe I'll be an architect. And then
I feel like I had the same story when I said I wanted to do architecture. Yeah.
And then my biological mother was like, you're not smart enough to do that.
Oh, no
so there
way.
was like, and that was when I was like 16, 17.
Such an impressionable age.
Such an impressionable age. So that's kind of also why I just was like fine arts and then fell into advertising because I was like, oh, well, I guess like at least I'll just make it somewhere. And it's not like I was bad at advertising. Like I loved it. I was B&T 30 under 30 for women in media. We won some really crazy pitches with sex toys, which we turned around in 24 hours. Like it is such a wild industry. And I had so much fun, and it kind of shaped a lot of who I am now. Yeah. But yeah, it hasn't been like a sailing road.
No, and quite amazing. You know, just touch on a really impressionable age, and I think. Now, I've got 3 daughters. I often think I need to be their biggest advocate for what they want to do because you do remember those comments.
Oh, my gosh.
And they hurt.
They do. And
that dose of reality. You know, you're like, just let me dream.
Just let me dream. And there's 2 quotes that I would love to bring up is words cannot be forgotten, they can be forgiven. Yeah, which is like huge. I've only just learned that one and I was like, oh, I like that because it's hard. Like you can't forget words. No. But you can choose to forgive them if you wish to. You know, you don't have to. It's only if you want to. And then the next one is that you become the parent that your child, like the child in you always needed. And I think that's also what has driven me in such a way is that I just want to be a huge advocate. Yeah. And I want to take people on a journey and I never want to crush any dreams.
Yeah, so, exactly. Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. So you're working in advertising and obviously had an amazing career. Yeah. What was that? I know you went back to study interiors at some point. Talk me through that moment of transition.
Okay, so I feel like I think a lot of COVID interior designers did this and it's a bit shady on me. Anyway, I was working with this really great stylist at the time and she was like, oh my God, do you want to do the masterclass? Because like we can get half price. And I was like, yeah, sure, I want to do the masterclass. She's like, Kelly Worster's on there. I was like, never heard of her. Do you want to be like, yeah, sure. Like let's do some interior design stuff. So I did the interior design Kelly Worster class.
I actually think we signed up to that masterclass during COVID. It was really not a great time for me. Oh. And so I think there was like Annie Leibovitz maybe was doing
Yeah.
photography. Like some people, I was like, you know what, even if this provides me some entertainment.
I did all of the interior
wild.
classes because I just got so sucked into it. I still have the notepad at home. I literally documented everything
how
Kelly
funny.
said in that
Yeah.
and was like, how can I turn this? We were also renovating our house. So in
Yeah.
2018, we bought our house. And then 2020, it was, that's when I did Kelly Wersler's masterclass. And then I was like, Pat, we need to re-renovate the house. And I was like, what the fuck
More
this?
is more.
And then there was just like this really big shift in my life where I was just like, you know what? I'm just like so sick of doing it for everyone else. I want to do something for me now.
Yeah.
So Pat and I got married in 2021. I had really long blonde hair. I cut it all off into a short bob. I changed my maiden name from Boynton Boardman to Shields.
Yeah.
And then I handed in my resignation. I called my boss and I was like, I've got some really exciting news for me, but
For
some
me.
really sad news for you. And he's like, oh my God, you're pregnant. I was like, fuck me, the sexism in this place is ridiculous. I was like,
Love that. That's the first
That's
thought.
the first thing. I was like, no, I quit.
Good on you.
And he was like, oh, that's really sad to see you go. And I'm like, yeah, but also
Really
I'm
exciting.
going to go live my life. So I didn't actually tell Pat that I had applied for uni.
Yeah.
I kept that under wraps. I made a portfolio and then it was like 2 days before it needed to be handed in. And I said to Pat, I was like, I'm going to hand in my portfolio and then I'm going to quit my job. And he was like, okay, if that's what you need to do, that's what you need to do. And I was
That's
like,
amazing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like 100% so supportive.
Yeah.
And love that, I have him in my life because he's just completely championed the whole thing.
Yeah, how incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. So you went back to study?
Yeah.
Yeah. How did you find that going back when you really want to be there?
I love
Was it
studying.
amazing?
I love
Yeah.
studying so much. Even in my first degree, even though it's not really what I wanted to do, like,
Yeah.
I still gave it 120%. And I love learning new things and I love experiencing new things. But yeah, it adds a different level when it's like your whole entire life is like, this is what I want to do. So studying back again, RMIT, I chose RMIT again only because I'd done my first degree there. And I was like, interior design, it's really good at RMIT. But I did the associates, not the bachelor, just an FYI. Because I was like, I have a bachelor degree. I have the conceptual skills.
Yeah.
After advertising, you're coming up with ideas every single day. So I was like, I just need the tools.
Yeah.
And need the ability to create what I can come up with in my head. So that's kind of why I chose the associate. But yeah, studying is just like, I had so much fun. And the teachers there are so wonderful.
Yeah. No, it's great. And also I think when you know you really want to be somewhere, you get so much more out of it.
So much more.
And
that course is so hard, but so rewarding at the same time. Like we started, when I applied, there was 30 in our class and we graduated with 6.
Oh, well, someone else was telling me a story similarly. They would have been going through a little bit earlier than you. But I think I remember that with architecture a bit as well. It was very demanding in terms of hours. And I think when you're in a design vocation as well, it's easy to keep going and going. Like it can be infinite.
Yes.
Yeah. And the amount of thought and it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. It is a lot of work. And
great work. But
oh my God, so much good work. But if you don't want to be there,
it
makes it very easy to just like drop off and go, nah, I'm good.
Yeah. And look for other avenues.
Absolutely.
So did you, I know we'll touch on sort of officially launching your business last year, but what was that bridging like for you and sort of picking up your own design work? Was that sort of a natural
That was kind of
transition?
very natural.
Yeah.
I didn't that's a really good question. I've never kind of thought of that. I think because I've been so heavy on social media.
Yeah.
Because coming from that marketing background, that's what you market yourself. You are the brand. You are the unique selling proposition. That's what's in my head every time I post. So I think it's been really easy for people to just slip into a DM or find me through Instagram and reach out.
Yeah.
So I've had a couple of projects here and there, even when I was still at uni.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. They were like two off rooms, as large as commercial project, some colour consults thrown in and there. Nothing that you would photograph, but like it's
Still that experience of clients and
exactly. Yeah. And then also having the ability of, building your own house. Well, essentially we did, because downstairs was just a frame and then we stripped out the frame and redid it. But you have that knowledge and that buildability, thinking, construction of like how I can do things. So it's not like just a student coming out of interior design. It's like, I'll just throw that up. That will work. It's like, how can I actually make this work?
Yeah, yeah.
Which I think is another little edge that people like when they come to me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that sort of level of detail and understanding.
And
I think there's so much of that design process just can't be taught easily at university. I think there's so many obviously wonderful things that you get out of the study, but then that sort of practical experience is
100%.
Yeah. It's essential.
Yeah, so much essential. Like even now I've pulled on a freelance Marnie, and I mentored Marnie last year at the same course, and she was the star student, obviously. That's why I picked her up. But excuse me, having her come in, she's so green to the practicality of it.
Yeah.
I'm like, we only have this amount of budget. You can only find, a lamp in this amount of budget. Yeah. We can't go to Living Edge or Space or Mobilia. No. We have to come back, and you have to like think about it practically.
Yeah.
What we can achieve, because we're using other people's money. It's not fantasy money anymore.
Yeah.
So it's been so interesting to watch like someone who doesn't come from a fully designed background or doesn't have, renovation knowledge or anything like that, and watch them grow and understand the practicalities and the limitations of design.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's that thing as well of exactly, you're quite reliant on that client and what that client can offer you.
Yeah.
As to how much you can push a project.
Yeah.
Which can be great or very frustrating. I did want to touch on your business, Studio Shields, which you officially launched last year. You have touched on having a student working with you. What does your sort of current business structure look like? I know your husband's a very talented carpenter and maker who works alongside you. Can you talk me through a little bit around how you're operating at the minute?
Okay, so operation-wise is I still am learning what I'm doing. Yeah. I think we all are.
I feel like that's an ongoing, and which is great.
And when you strive yourself on trying to be really good, it's hard to think that you're not doing your best, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So there's this year has been a learning curve of going, it's okay that I don't know.
Yeah.
Did Marty Doherty know at this stage in her business? Probably not. Maybe she did. But it's okay that I don't. So it's like I'm just trying to pull myself into that mindset at the moment. But the current structure is, I've got quite a few projects on, which are exciting. Interstate as well.
Oh, that's exciting.
I know, it's so exciting. I'm like, that's really me? There's one in Canberra, which is like, their brief was Scarparelli.
Oh, wow.
And 80s glam.
Oh, how fun.
It is
wild.
I
look forward to seeing that.
Oh my God. It's gonna be it's gonna be a staged process, because they want everything. When the client comes back and they're like, we want everything, but we don't have the money for it now. So, and you're like, okay, so I'm buckling in for 3 years. Let's go.
Yeah.
But they're so wildly fun. And then I've got a client in Sydney, and that's just like a light touch project. But Jacob and Karen have literally painted their whole apartment in 4 weeks, because they were like, we just want to see it done. And I was like,
oh, that's amazing.
Kudos to you guys.
Yeah.
So there is, and then I've got a commercial project in Mordialloc as well. So I'm just working with really good people, I think is the main point at this stage. And there will come a time where I know I might need to change that and chase a bigger budget, for instance. But at this point in time, I am just really enjoying working for lovely people, and that's kind of how I'm ciphering through them.
I think it's also that thing is I've sort of found as I've got older is you work out what brings you joy. Is it the great clients, or is it chasing the massive budget, and it can be a combination of both, but also what's manageable in terms of staff and where you want to focus your attention.
Exactly.
I guess as well. And I love documenting, so I find it hard to. I'm kind of like, I want to do everything.
I'm struggling with that.
I'm a bit of a control freak.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, me too.
Yeah.
And it's a problem.
It's hard to delegate sometimes because I like all facets of the process, because it's very easy to end up, you know, friends have said they've ended up in that feeling of they're just managing lots of staff, and that how to find that balance of the creativity and the, you know, but it comes with time.
Yeah, it comes with, I think.
Yeah.
Because, at the moment I love all of the aspects of it, and it's hard to give up a certain part of it because I'm like, I still really enjoy all of the pieces.
Yeah.
So, Marnie's just concentrating on, I'm getting her to learn proper scheduling.
Yeah.
And giving her the ability to find other pieces but within a bracket.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds really like a menial task, but that's also what I did with Bree Banfield when I was still at uni.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I just worked for her a couple of days a week, and she was like, I need you to be the FF&E girl, and you need to go through and you need to make sure that everything's in there.
Which is kind of amazing, because often that's the thing I find, having the time to find even new materials, or, you know, so it would actually be quite great to have that as your you know, you could just give it 150%.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm like, because all the concepts are done at the moment, so I'm just like, you can concentrate on that. I'm concentrating on, I feel like most of my job at this point in time is just problem solving.
Yeah.
Because I don't have the clients with the really big budgets. I'm like, how can I make this amount of money stretch this far? Yeah. So it's like the Sydney clients, it wasn't about redoing all of their joinery fronts. It was, hey, what if we did stick on wallpaper?
Yeah.
And I know that sounds really lame, but like it has changed the white cupboard fronts into something that is really beautifully textural and like delicious. And I'm like, I'm happy with that. They're happy with that. But I feel like when you're so fresh, it's more about problem solving and seeing how much you can do with so little. And then hopefully I get to the stage where I have some bigger clients where I can actually design again.
Yeah.
Because we all know that money equals design.
Sadly.
It is so sad that like unless you have time, so like Pat and I, where we have time because we both have the skills to do it.
Yeah.
We're able to, you know, create really beautiful bespoke pieces.
Yeah.
Whereas when you try and articulate that to a client that doesn't have those skills, but wants that, but they don't have the money, it's like, it's just, you just balancing.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm like a clown at the moment, just balancing. But Pat's aspect is we will always want to be multifaceted. Yeah. Like Studio Shields will always be multifaceted. And Pat just really wants to, and he's going to hate me saying this, and I hope he doesn't listen to this, but Pat just really wants to be a happy kept husband with his kids, and I love that for him.
That's sweet.
It's so sweet, and if I can provide that for him, I would be so happy because he has provided so much for me so early in my career.
Yeah.
So if I can get to the stage where I can just pass the baton and he can run wild, then that would
still
be fabulous.
Craft some beautiful things.
Oh my God, he's not working.
Yeah.
Like, no. He said to me the other day.
He's got like a strong carpentry background, is that right?
Yeah. So funny story, we'll just touch on it briefly. When I first met Pat, he wanted to be an environmental scientist.
Oh, wow.
So he was studying that. And then I said to him in my bright, I think I was 19. No, 18. In my bright 18-year-old self, I was like, I'm moving to Melbourne. You can come or you can stay in Canberra. And he was like, oh, I guess I'll come then. Anyway,
so sweet.
So sweet, but also like savage on my behalf. So then we both moved to Melbourne, and then Pat has always loved drama and acting.
Yep.
So then he went off to Deakin and studied acting.
Oh, wow.
I know. And then we went overseas and Pat's dad passed away really suddenly. And we came back and there was a whole just really wild shift.
Yeah.
And his mum was like, maybe you should work with your hands. And Pat was like, well, I like working with my hands. And then that's how he's kind of not fallen. I think he was always destined to be a carpenter, but he's, really fallen into carpentry
Yeah.
and making bespoke pieces. So
yeah.
he will lead the maker arm of the business in regards to making bespoke, handles like in our house or lighting or gorgeous bed heads. And I will facilitate that part because we design together. There is no moment in our 13 years that we haven't both collaborated on an idea.
Oh, it's really special having that. Yeah.
It is so special, like so special. But when it comes to my clients and decoration and design part, he doesn't play a part in that. Like he'll peep his head over and he's like, I don't know about those colours. I'm like,
excuse me, this is my project.
Stay in your lane, girl. Like, no.
Exactly. I did want to touch on your gorgeous home that we've lightly discussed, was recently featured in Vogue Living. And as I mentioned at the start, it was really exciting to see some fresh talent coming through the ranks, so to speak. I was really thrilled to see that project in there, particularly given you purchased the project in 2018 and it's been really a true labour of love. But I think there was also this beautiful sense, I think, of so many aspects of your studio. There was that sort of handcrafted, the beautiful use of colour, which, it not only photographs beautifully, but it just looks really poignant. And this incredible layering of furniture and artwork. I think I was saying to you before, every page, I was thinking, oh my gosh, that just gets better and better. So for me, it was quite a transformative project. Can you talk a little bit through, obviously it was a bit of a process for you guys, which I think's so exciting to see it all come to fruition for you. Was that sort of ultimately and the ability to bring together some of these components that really inform the work that you're working on?
Yes, it's like, I think the house is like, I feel horrible saying this because everyone is seeing the finished pictures and it feels amazing. But like so much heartache, work, sacrifices has gone into that house. So it's hard to look at those photos, if that makes sense, and go, oh my God, like, yay. Because it's like the tears sitting on the kitchen floor being like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, tap me out. Like, I'm done. Like, laying those floors, those timber floors upstairs in that week of 30 to 40 degree heat, that was nearly a breaking point in our relationship where we were both like, I'm so done.
Yeah.
And then after that, it kind of twisted and it was just so bizarre that we just twisted, moved in, and then really just settled in a grain of like, this is who we are and this is where we're going. So in that article that Saskia put together, and she did such a beautiful job on the way that she kind of wrote about, tied in what I had said and made it really prominent and beautifully articulate, is like, we grew as much as we built that house, if that makes sense. So I think my boldness in colour and application of material grew through that as well.
Yeah.
Instead of just going, okay, so side note, we were meant to flip the house in 2 years, but
too much hard work went into that.
I don't know what a second-year apprentice and an art director were thinking when we thought that was like a really cool idea. But we thought it was like a cool idea, and then we just realised that it wasn't. So the house went from like flipping, and then we were like, you know what, fuck it, we'll just make it our house for experimenting and working out who we are as people. And I think that's what makes it so different to what everyone else has seen. Yeah. It's not just the craft, it's the testing, it's the materiality, it's going sandstone on a, Butler's benchtop / laundry isn't the wisest because it is the most porous stone.
Looks amazing.
It looks amazing. But it was free, and we were like, what are we going to use here? So the Butler's Pantry is literally just using all reclaimed materials.
Oh, how amazing.
We only bought the 3-metre doors.
Yeah.
And it's not in that. The part that's not photographed is literally laminated panels that have brass inlays in them because we didn't have enough material. So we just put it all together and worked it.
Oh, how amazing.
With brass inlays. I don't know if that answered your question completely.
Yeah, no, it does.
Okay, I'm sorry. I went on a ramble there. But I think, the house has been the foundation of who I have become as a studio.
And sort of a beautiful time that it came together as well, and that it happened to be that moment where you've sort of officially
it's
launched as well.
Nothing is not done unplanned in my world.
Yeah.
Because I knew going out in 2025 part-time, the Mount Eliza project that will come out in April was also in that period. So that was just a wild card.
Yeah.
I kind of didn't think that was going to happen, but I knew that Pat and I were going to finish the house and I would have a project to launch with this year. That has always been the goal.
Yeah.
It's just happened that we had two projects. Well, I've had two projects. One is our house and the other one is a project that I've completed. So, I didn't think it was going to be Vogue worthy. I don't think anyone come on.
I know. Well, I said to you, it's such to me, that's such a defining moment. And I think really exciting to see a project that hasn't, I mean, look, there's always a space for the beautiful projects which have huge budgets and are very polished and very seamless. But I think it was wonderful to see something so celebrated that has really, you've put your heart and soul into, and it's not just an easy, straight run, which I think is inspiring for people as well.
Yes, yeah. And it is inspiring. There's 2 points so one, who in their right mind is, a year out of business and features in Vogue Living like that. I'm still pinching myself on that because I feel not fraudulent is a wrong word, but I feel like it is, and I know that Vogue is earned.
Yeah.
I know that. So it's a lot to be okay, can I celebrate this moment? You can celebrate this moment, but it's there's no, I know, I understand the gravity of it.
Yeah.
It is not, it's not that I don't understand the gravity of it. I do, and I am so appreciative to be there.
Yeah.
But the next part is, the Danis talked about it at Sightline.
Yes.
The styled photo.
Yeah.
And there is so much more that goes on behind that.
Yeah.
And it's, it is amazing that people find it inspiring, but I want them to understand that it's not an easy, to get there is not easy all the time when it's just two people doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's very exciting. It's really exciting. I did want to touch on, obviously you've got a few projects on the go at the moment. Your work has got so many wonderful layers to it, and I love that sort of sense of storytelling and depth that goes into them, and I'm very excited to see the projects that come out this year. Is there a particular way that you seek inspiration when you're starting a project, or is it something that you're always just taking in?
I feel like as creatives, we always take in inspiration. We're always taking little tabs. It's like our mind is like a little Rolodex where we're just constantly picking up information, and then you're like.
My problem is trying to remember it at the moment.
Oh my God, no, totally. No, fair, because we're always you've got so much in there and you're like, what's going on? But no, it's definitely from the inhabitants, and there is a narrative always that seeps through. You can't, coming from advertising as well.
Yeah.
We storytell. That is a role of an advertising person. I need to capture you in the first 30, maybe 10 seconds that you're watching something for you to clock on and keep it. We did this really amazing campaign for Charles Darwin University where I got to travel around Australia without a return ticket. It was the most wildest thing in the entire world, and I was just like, what is going on? But in that, we told stories of people going back to university as a mature age student. And I think that was also a reason why I was like, fuck it. If they can do it, I can do it,
Yeah.
But we told these really beautiful stories, and we had their loved ones either write them a letter or send them a message. And we played it back to them in a moment of them thinking about how far they'd come.
Oh, wow.
And it was just
very moving.
It was so moving. Most of the time, all of us were in tears, or we had goosebumps, and we were just like, "What are we creating?" It was the most beautiful campaign. But I think, that's storytelling.
Yeah.
So it's hard to not develop an interior without having a strong rooted story and narrative in it.
Yeah.
But then in the same breath, love fashion, love sitting on my Vogue app and just like going through all the runways and looking how they've combined materials and colours, and I get a lot of inspiration from that.
Yeah.
But then also being a farm girl, love my nature and my barks. I think everyone's sick of my bark shots on Instagram, but I'm like, look at this tree. Look, it's so good. And feathers. So I think as much as like my interiors are a collection of things and shit and it's a bowerbird, like our house is just an absolute bowerbird nest of just stuff. But that's also how I collect inspiration, is that I'm just a bowerbird and I'm literally just like a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know, we always go to our, you know, mentors, like the people that we look up to. So, you know, always got to have David in there and, you know, Yaz and Marty and, you know, Tali, because Tali's really talented as well, and Simone. But like, you know, you dig a little bit in there and then you dig a little in there and then over here, and then that's how it just becomes something unique and authentic.
Yeah.
Is that we're not singularly just positioning ourselves. In my first job, junior art director was like, here is my new concept to my creative director. And I was like showing him all these images of like, this is where we're going. And he was like, so this one? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, where's that from? And I was like, Pinterest. Like, have you not heard of that before? And I got my ass served to me on a plate. He was like, behind that photo is someone who worked really hard to create that image. Behind that photo is someone's idea, emotion.
Yeah.
Like, so ever since that, I'm like, that's why I'm an avid tagger, you know, we'll search for hard and dry just to find the right person to credit. Because it's like behind every photo is someone else's work, idea.
I know it gets a bit wild on Pinterest and things with how freely images can.
And it's just our
around.
nature. Like, it is what we've designed to do. It's the 6-second videos. It's the scroll holes that we get into. But I would just really like people to pause for a moment and think, wow.
Where's that come from?
Yeah. Someone came up with that. Instead of just double tapping and liking an interior, it's like, how did they put all that together and like that's. But I know that's, you know, really naive saying that, because we all will just go back on our phone. But
it helps you cull through, because there is so much out there.
So much.
You need to be a bit selective about what we're looking at as well.
Yeah.
I did want to touch on your social media quickly, because I love it. I think it's fantastic, and I think it feels very natural.
Yeah.
It can be a little bit funny. It can be real. I remember I was in Sydney recently dragging my heels with my 3 kids who wanted to go to some, I don't know, shop over here and something, and I was watching you had been on this incredible art tour around Sydney. I was thinking, she's living my dream day. But it's really great, actually. I think that ability to naturally share what you're doing. Do you find, I think that's quite a special way to engage with clients as well. Do you find people come to you through that?
Yeah, the Sydney clients literally selected me. They were like, because you go to all the events and you seem like you've always got your finger on the pulse of what's happening, what's new, where you're going, what you're doing.
Yeah.
But it also makes you personable.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not scary. Yeah. I'm not going to hide behind anything. I'll wear my heart on a sleeve kind of gal. But also social media is just so natural to me. I grew up when there was still dial-up internet, just mind you. So I'm not like
still younger than me.
Okay, still younger than you. But I remember like we had to like unplug the phone to plug the fucking internet in. Then you'd hear the ding,
I feel like it's evolved quite like a lot's happened in the last few years. Yeah,
a lot's happened, but it's not. I haven't grown up as one of the. I think they're Gen Z. I can't remember which ones they are. Anyway, whatever they are, being a natural person on social media. I think it just comes to me because I like pulling together. It's like scrapbooking. I know that's so bad.
No, but I think it paints a great picture. I think that those are the accounts that actually they've got meaning and substance.
Yeah.
And
I never want to post something just to post something, if that makes sense. Like, I don't want to add to this constant flux of
I think that was that wonderful thing we just touched on before, the Sightline presentation we were both at the other day. I think that was one of the takeaways, is actually just create your own narrative.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So true.
Really
Create
stuck
your
with
own
me,
narrative
yeah.
and your own point of view. And I think when people land on my page, there is a point of view. It's colour, texture, and then just personality and character.
Which is great, because then I think you find those clients that are going to give you that space to really evolve your designs.
Yeah.
No, I'm very excited.
I'm excited too. I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready. Are you ready? I start talking to myself. I'm like, are you ready? I'm like, I don't know. Are you ready? I'm like, fuck,
I think
let's
you'll
just
nail
buckle
it.
up.
It'll be good. No, I'm really excited to see where this year takes you. Before we wrap, it's time for her edit.
Yay.
So I'm going to ask you some quick questions and see where you're at. Your first design-related purchase you ever made. Can you remember what the first?
Oh, you're going to find this really funny. I hope you find it funny. Okay, so when Pat and I moved, well, Pat lived in Canberra. We were together 3 months, and then I rocked up on his doorstep with like a vintage suitcase. Like 18-year-old me was just like, yeah, I've got this. 18 years. Oh my God. Anyway, and then we got a little apartment in Red Hill. And because you don't have like lots of money, we went to the Green Shed, which is like the tip.
Yeah.
But they just like scour through the tip and they find all the nice-ish pieces that they can kind of resell. So we literally kitted out the house with $80. So I was going back through the photos and I was like, I remember that sofa that we had was like really gorgeous. Like it was like cute and mid-century, had really nice like timber details. And I'm going back through and I'm like, I think that was a fucking Tessa couch. It was a Tessa couch.
Oh, how
I
funny.
literally had bought a Tessa couch among all of the other things for $80. And then in my sweet naivety, at the end when I was like, we're going to Melbourne now, so like let's like scoot and boot. I was like, I'm going to give everything back to the tip because then someone else can furnish their house.
Damn.
And do you know how like I cannot find that. So like it was in the original woolen upholstery. Like I watched Mad Men on that. Like it was the best sofa, and I'm like, oh my
funny.
God.
That is funny.
So yeah, I bought a Tessa couch without knowing that it was a Tessa couch, and then I gave it back to the tip.
You might find it. I love that. What your next travel destination, actual or aspirational? Have you got any trips planned or anywhere that you'd love to go?
Okay, it's going to sound so cliche, but 2027, Pat and I are going to go to Milan because like for the fair.
Amazing.
Because you have to do it.
Yeah.
But I aspire to go everywhere because I haven't, you know, when you're young and you just like go to places for 2 days and you're like, woo, went to Prague, woo, went to Amsterdam. Like we've been everywhere, but we haven't like actually
spent the time.
Yeah. We'd really like to go to Barcelona because of the architecture there and the colours. But at the moment we haven't like fully sat down and discussed because it's been a bit hectic.
Yeah.
Especially because I forgot to touch on that we're doing something for Melbourne Design Week. So
which I'm very excited for. Coming up quickly.
So scared.
Don't be scared. It'll be great.
Orchestrating a whole exhibition is like, oh my God. So I've just our heads are cemented. My head's cemented there. Pat's designing the chair for 100 chairs. So we're both like in the midst at the moment. But we will sit down and find places. Yeah. But there's so much in this world. It's so
I know
hard.
it's a little overwhelming. But Milan will be amazing.
Milan will be so good. I'm so excited.
Good to have something in the pipeline. Favorite creative icon, living or legend?
This one was really hard. I'm not going to lie. Because I don't know. I get lots of inspiration from everywhere. I would have to say, you know, Kelly played such a pivotal part. But then, you know, I'd have to, you know, name my faves and be like, Marty Doherty is such a inspiration to me. Like,
and that's amazing. More like, you know, Melbourne.
Yeah.
The last question. If your star was a celebrity, who would it be?
Okay, so this one was really
looking
hard.
Forward to your answer, actually,
because you know, I'm still fresh, so I think it could completely change. But the first person that came to mind was Iris Apfel.
Oh wow, yes.
And not for her.
I love her.
Right, and it's not for her, you know, boldness in colour or maximalism, but yes, that does play a heavy part into it. But it is her defining feature of just being who she is. And she doesn't care what anyone else says. Yeah. And she's just marching. And this is who she is, and you can take it or leave it.
Yeah.
And I think that is my style.
And she's just got better and better with age, I think.
Yeah, I hope I get better. I hope I get better and better with age.
We will.
But yeah, it's her authenticity and it's her courageousness and it's her, just who she is, and she's so personable.
Yeah.
And that's what I hope that people get from what I design.
Yeah.
Is that it's just a human in a space making good things.
Beautiful spaces.
Beautiful spaces.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time, Ruby, today. I've absolutely loved talking to you. It's been great.
Thank you. Thank
Thanks.
you.